Hi everyone, it's Belle back with another video for you. Because I've been getting so many requests from those of you who follow me on Instagram and Facebook, I decided to make a video about how to successfully be on the keto diet. And I don't like to use the word diet. For me, it's really how to successfully be on the keto lifestyle, because it's a lifestyle. I have been practicing keto with much success for almost 2 years. And in addition to keto, I also do something else called intermittent fasting. But that's not what this video is about. I'm going to touch on fasting and how fasting can impact your results on keto. But in order to be successful on keto, you don't have to do fasting. So stay tuned for the rest of this video. So first, we're going to start with the question, what is keto? Keto is a low-carb, high-protein diet. I'm going to make this video very simple so you can get to the point and start your keto journey today. Keto just means low carb, high protein, okay? And so how many carbs should you have per day? We'll talk about that later. But low carb, high protein. So what happens when your body continues to eat low carbs and high protein? Your body will go into something called ketosis. Ketosis is a metabolic state, right? So your metabolism, in which the body does not have enough glucose for energy, because glucose, sugar, is typically found in carbs, processed foods, things of that nature. Once you cut those things out, then your body is going to start burning more of your stored fat, leading to a lot of fat loss because you'll be burning fat. And so sometimes people say, how can I eat more fat to lose fat? But that's what happens on keto, okay? And, you know, there are news about keto just about everywhere internationally. People are successful on keto. I am one of those people. So when your body is in ketosis, that means that you are following the low carb, high protein rule. There are tests that you can purchase on Amazon to see if your body is in a state of ketosis. It's relatively affordable. I personally have never purchased those keto tests. I knew that I was in ketosis just by what was happening to my body. I was shrinking, I was burning fat, I had more energy, all of those things, okay? So you don't have to test, but some people like to test, especially people who have a large amount of weight to lose. So the next vocabulary that you need to know is macronutrients. You may see this word being thrown around on social media, or sometimes people refer to it as macros. So basically, macronutrients are our daily diet intake. It's a combination of fats, protein, and carbohydrates. And based on the keto recommendation, you should only have 5 to 10% carbohydrates per day. Okay? The other 90% should be a combination of proteins and fats. Okay? And so, you know, to attack some of the myths, some people say, oh, you know, keto people on keto are going to get heart attacks. What are they doing? They're consuming too many fats and things of that nature. But guys, there are healthy fats, which we're going to talk about. And there are also really good, healthy carbs that are aligned with the keto way of life. I think something that I see a lot on social media is a lot of folks are ingesting steaks every day, 24/7, processed foods, hot dogs 24/7, which I would argue could be dangerous to your heart, especially if you're not exercising. So if you combine keto with exercise, you want to be mindful. If you're not using keto with exercise, which I know a lot of people don't do and they still have great results, you need to think about that. Also, I am not a doctor. I am just speaking from personal experience. I'm also speaking from working with different clients and also people that I know, friends I've known for years who have tried my methods and are very successful. I would recommend getting a full workup before you start a keto diet. That is incredibly important. But macronutrients, essentially on a keto diet, you want to keep it at 10%, which is around 20 grams of carbohydrates. And I'll talk to you about how to measure how many carbohydrates a particular food has. So it's day one, you've just started your keto diet. I want you to be successful. The first thing you're going to need to do is go into your pantry, go into your refrigerator, and get rid of the foods that are high in carbohydrates. Now, this may be incredibly hard to do at first. If you don't believe in wasting food, if you can do a trade with a friend where you can swap some veggies for some other things, that'll be great. I personally stopped eating it, but I have a family, and so they ate the food, so I didn't have to throw anything away. But I want to show you some things in our household that I eat and that I don't eat, okay? And then I also want to show you how I follow something called the 80-20 rule. 80% of my diet is clean and keto, and the other 20% I allow myself some wiggle room. If I want a piece of bread, I'm going to have it within moderation. I'm not going to have 20 pieces of bread. If I want some granola that has oats in it, which is a form of carbs because it has grains, so keto is also a grain-free diet, I am going to have some, but in moderation. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example. So this is a box of Cheerios, right, which my kids love. And so we look at the nutrition label here. And when you look at the nutrition label, the first thing I do is I go to the carbs. Okay, so it has 20 grams of carbs and you look in 1 cup of Cheerios. Okay, so in 1 cup of Cheerios, you have 20 grams of carbohydrates. Okay, now, so you say, okay, 20 grams of carbs. Your body doesn't absorb the 20 grams of carbs if you have 1 cup. Your body is going to absorb the net carbs, okay? So what are net carbs? Net carbs basically means the amount of carbohydrates your body is going to actually absorb. So you subtract the total number of carbs from the fiber. So there are 3 grams of fiber in 1 cup of Cheerios. 20 minus 3 is 17 grams. So your body will absorb 17 net carbs, not the 20. So if you have that cup of Cheerios and you're on a keto diet, your carb intake is done for the day. Now, some people go over it. I had one client who said, well, I like to have around 50 grams of carbs a day. And she was having a hard time losing a stubborn, 10 or 15 pounds. She had to change the ratio. Processed food has sugar. Now, if it says sugar alcohol, then you're also going to add that to the subtraction, okay? So you want to have 20 grams of net carbs, right? That means you're subtracting the total carbs from the fiber to get the net carbs, okay? So that's how you calculate net carbs. It's really not that difficult. So this is something I obviously don't eat with my keto way of life. I don't really miss it. I used to be a big cereal head, like in my 20s. Now in my 30s, I don't really care for it that much. I'm a coffee head. In fact, I have my coffee here with me. I always have coffee. So this is something that I don't eat. So this is something I stopped eating. So what did I replace it with? This is something I started eating more of, broccoli. Broccoli has carbohydrates, guys. So on the keto diet, you are eating carbs, but you're eating low carb foods, okay? So if you look at it on the back, it says 1 1/3 cups of broccoli. You see that? For 1 1/3 cups of broccoli, the total carbs is 4 grams. Hey, I'm happy with that. And if you look at the fiber, there are 2 grams of fiber, okay? So you do 4 grams minus 2 grams. You have 2 net carbs per 1 1/3 cups of broccoli. Now, I eat a lot of broccoli. It's low in carbs. It's good for me. It fills me up. Broccoli is one of my go-tos. So I will grill some chicken, have it with some broccoli. That's a keto meal. Every keto meal doesn't have to be eggs and cheese and steaks, and that's fine, but I don't recommend having those things every single day is what I'm saying, okay? So here's an example. 20 grams in just a cup, 4 grams of carbs in 1 1/3 cup. So broccoli is your friend, and obviously broccoli is a green vegetable. I want to show you another keto, a keto staple for me, because I love waffles sometimes, especially on a Sunday morning, and it's one of the things I really miss. Now, I used to make my own waffles and keto bread with almond flour, but sometimes I just don't have the time. So I bought this pancake and waffle mix. It's the keto version. This cost me $8.99 on Amazon, just being real about the price. And it's made by Birch Benders. I like this brand. They make keto food. Now, if you look on the back, it says for 1/3 of a cup of the mix, it has 10 grams of carbs. Okay? Do you see that? 10 grams of carbs. But it has 5 grams of fiber. So if you subtract 10 total carbs minus 5, then you have 5 net carbs. So you can have 2 lovely keto waffles, which I find 1/3 of a cup gives me when I add water. You just add water to this mix. You can have 2 of those bad boys for a total of 10 net carbs. Now, I try to stay under 20, but I don't track. I find tracking to be oppressive. I don't count calories, guys. A lot of people do, though. Okay, so MyFitnessPal is really good if you want to track it, if you know you're going to fall off track. But if you're following a low carbohydrate, high protein diet, you are going to lose weight. You will lose weight because your body will go into ketosis, which is a fat burning state. So there's no way you're not going to lose weight. But you have to be very disciplined with the food that you're eating. So a lot of people say, well, how can I be successful? How can I start? And I get these questions a lot. Just start. Just start. You just start one day and you just keep going. When you make a mistake, if you fall off the track and you have some bread or you have a bagel, it's okay. Just keep going. I find that a lot of people make one mistake and then they're like, you know what? I'm done. I'm not trying this again. Why I like keto, it's the easiest thing I've ever done. I've increased my vegetable intake. Because of keto, I eat more vegetables. So let me tell you guys what I typically eat, the staples. A lot of broccoli, a lot of chicken breast, a lot of Brussels sprout. Cabbage is your friend. Any kind of protein is your friend. Things that are low in carbohydrates are your friend. Now, some things that I missed, I used to have a lot of granola. I learned that most granola is filled with a lot of sugar and it's also filled with oats. Now, oats are good for you, but it's also high in carbs, so is quinoa. So it's up to you. When I have oats or quinoa, I have it in very small amounts. I stick to my 10%, so I don't deprive myself really of anything. Another staple in my keto diet is something called MCT oil. This oil is a brain and body fuel, and I put this in my coffee. It gives you a lot of energy, especially if you're on a keto diet. And it also has something called triglycerides, which really keeps you in a state of fat burning. Okay, so MCT oil is your friend. MCT oil is your friend. And it also assists with your fat burning. And it's made of coconut oil. Okay, so coconuts are also a really huge part of my diet as well. You can be successful on keto. Okay, so here's another thing that I recommend. When you start your keto diet, sit down every Sunday and come up with a 7-day plan for how you're going to eat. Everyone's not good at meal prep. Okay, you don't have to have those fancy bowls laid out and take pictures. No, what you can do is you can make a batch of chicken breast and you can make a batch of broccoli and just every day as you go. Okay, another thing that you can do is you can think about things that you like and try to substitute them. For me, in the beginning, I was making a lot of keto bread because I loved bread. And now I don't even have a craving for bread anymore. Once in a blue moon. And when I do, I have my keto pancake mix or I do keto bread with almond flour. If you're interested in that, please leave a thumbs up or leave a comment below and I would be happy to show you guys how to make keto bread. I made this video for you guys because so many people kept asking me and I felt like I had to share because I got so many questions. My DMs actually have more questions about keto than it does about things like self-love and self-care. But again, keto and a lifestyle, all of that is a form of self-care, right? Because it's how we take care of our bodies. Okay, great. So you want to come up with a meal plan. It doesn't have to be fancy. Don't get carried away. Keep it simple. You can have eggs. I have a lot of boiled eggs, scrambled eggs. I keep it simple. Chicken breast. I also like lean ground beef. I keep it very, very simple and pair it with either broccoli or Brussels sprouts. Your relationship to food will change in the sense that I eat to live now, and before I felt like I was living to eat. Now, don't get me wrong, I still enjoy moments of food, especially with those I love, family and friends, but it's not what I'm waiting for. The last piece of this video is about intermittent fasting, which is also a fat burning process. It's when you fast for a certain number of hours and leave your eating window open for the rest of those hours. For example, there's 16-8. You fast for 16 hours, leave your eating window open for 8 hours. Or you fast for 19 hours, leave your eating window open for 5 hours. Most people skip breakfast and open their eating windows at 12. I do that. I keep my eating window, usually I keep it open for 3 or 4 hours. When I was really strict in the beginning, I did 23-1, which is the warrior diet, 23 hours of fasting, 1 hour of eating, and that's because I was trying to lose that baby weight I had, which is now gone, thank God. Yay! And so whatever you want to lose, I can help you do it. This video, I hope it helps you. You can do keto. So let's just do a wrap up. What is keto? Keto is a high protein, low carb diet. Your body then goes into a state of ketosis. Okay, ketosis means you are a fat burning machine because your body is no longer using glucose as a form of fuel. Your body is now a fat burning machine due to the high protein, low carbs that you're ingesting. Keeping your carbs under 20 grams per day should get you into ketosis 9 times out of 10. The other thing is you want to plan your meals. You want to think of things you love to make it easy for you. You always want to have different snacks on hand. Good keto snacks. Almonds are great. I love almonds. I also love grain-free granola, okay, which are lower in carbohydrates. I like low-fat yogurt. There are a lot of things that you can eat on a keto diet, and I will leave an image in the end of suggested keto foods. Easy keto foods, affordable keto foods. Most of the keto things I eat are affordable, but I do get a little bougie sometimes. Like with this keto pancake mix, which you don't need. You can use some almond flour or coconut flour and make it yourself if you have that kind of time all the time. But I want you to know it's not too expensive. You will lose weight. You will feel in charge. You will feel in control. And you will just have a little bit more control over your life. When you can take control over what you put into your body, I really believe you can do anything. And that's what this journey has done to me, for me. With fasting especially, I have really been able to analyze my relationship with food and just see that, you know, I didn't eat all that food before. And especially after kids and nursing, you're always hungry. So I had to really get back to who I was. If you would like any help with the keto diet, if you would like a consulting session, please reach out to me at Self Love Life 101 on Instagram, Facebook at Self Love Life 101, Twitter at Self Love Life 101, email selflovelifeone01@gmail.com, and I will be more than happy to assist you with this process. Let me know if you have any questions. Leave a comment below. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Ask any question you want. I like to engage, and I will respond as soon as I can. Take care.